Well, it's Kentucky. Amy and I were just having a conversation. What? What did I tell you? We're in Kentucky. A lady just went right through the intersection on a... I'm say she was pushing 65, and she had like ski goggles on, and she was on a scooter. It was... Listen, I get it. I'm not certain I wouldn't do that when I was 65, but it was something to behold. It was quite the graphic. Look at her go. Anyway, we're on our way. What's that?
You just gave that guy the middle finger.
What guy?
The guy walking.
Gave who?
This car.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's Kentucky. There we got another scooter. She's just rocking it. They're high in their scooters here in this state. And it's not like we're in a, city setting. This is somewhat rural. It's impressive. Well, I know there's a mall there, but this is, anyway. On our way out to the sale right now, I stayed up late last night. I don't generally watch a lot of college football, but you watch it so much in the States. I find myself enthralled with, I can hear people yelling down the hall watching the football game in the hotel. And they were watching Penn State and Oregon. And it was cool. They said 100,000 plus people in that stadium, and they're all wearing white. It was really cool. And unfortunately, the Oregon Ducks won the game. Pennsylvania, they went to double overtime. So it's pretty cool. The way they do it is they finish the game as a tie, obviously. Then they start on the 25-yard line and get a touchdown. Then you can kick the field goal or kick the extra point, right? So the other team was 4th and 1, and they converted the first down. Then they got a touchdown. Then they get the extra point. Now they went to double overtime. You have to do a 2-point conversion after your touchdown to. You can't kick an extra point.
Okay.
So how did it go? I want to get this right. Pennsylvania didn't get a touchdown, I don't believe. I don't want to get this wrong. I think I have it wrong. There was an interception, and they ran it back to the 50-yard line. Oregon got the ball, didn't get the touchdown. It was intercepted. They run it back to the 50-yard line. No, this is wrong. Oh, I know what it was. Oregon got the touchdown and did not, and when they were trying to get the 2-point conversion, it was picked off, and Penn State ran it back to the 50-yard line or something. So now they have the ball and they can get a touchdown. First play of the drive, Pennsylvania throws an interception, and the game's over. So it was, obviously they weren't the home crowd, so it was a little anticlimactic, but what a game, back and forth. It was a good game. For those of you, I'm sure if you're Americans out there, you watch a lot of college football. For us Canadians, there's not really a lot of university college football, so we don't get that same sense of the collegiate sports the way you do. So I'm just getting into it now. It's amazing that they can pack 100,000 people into those stadiums for those college games. And then of course Amy and I, because we do a lot of traveling, you'll go through tons of little towns where you see the high school stadiums are pretty immense. What's that? Yeah, the one Ava goes to. Yeah, they're pretty immense. Let alone a true college place. Amy had said to me last week, she goes, "Oh my God, Ohio has a college football team. We should go there sometime."
What? It isn't.
You can't get into the game. It's like jammed. Anyway, I would in a heartbeat. But I remember the first year I came down here, I stayed at a hotel downtown, but I could only book. There was 2 days of the week I couldn't get in, and I had asked at the front desk why, and they said because the UK University of Kentucky had the whole top floor. Yeah. So it was in the whole town. There was no hotels everywhere. I had to stay way outside town. Just
really sidebarring.
I just think it's really interesting that of course we're in Kentucky. We're driving past the University of Kentucky here in a few minutes. So it is pretty cool. The collegiate sports here. Anyway, that's what I was getting at. I did get sidetracked a little bit now that I think about it. So as we head out to the
5 minutes.
as we head out to the sale, this is what our Sunday morning looks like. Here's the thing: every year we all get, if we're lucky in life, we all get a vacation, right? And I find it very, very lucky that I get to go away with my family still every year. And every year for 6 days in the fall, my wife and I get to come to Kentucky. And it's stressful because we're here working also, but it's just an incredible feeling. There's nothing that will slow your life down like Kentucky for some reason. And I say it all the time when I'm down here racing. You might miss it the first couple of days, but eventually it soaks in and it dawns on you how impressive it is. Did you see the commercials on the TV? They're all horse-related commercials. The ones that for the hotel. This is horse country. You can tell when you're here. That's for sure. Now, not a whole lot to talk about with the sale yet. We're just getting out here. I stayed up late last night and put most of the consignments in order so that when I go to the consignment, I can just click on the consignment and it'll show me all the ones that I'm interested in that consignment. Now, as Amy put it so nicely, so politely, I generally will look at other horses when I'm in consignments. But here's the thing. I went through the catalog last night and there's like 5 or 6 horses that I had okay notes on, but after reviewing them again and thinking about where they might fit in our entire bucket system, I was much more impressed with those horses. So it's important to have 25 or 30 or 40 or 50 even horses like that I would be comfortable with if we got it for this price, because that's how we build those buckets, the flyer buckets, right? And they can't all go for fair market value. Unfortunately, the breeders would love that to happen, but there are going to be some that are just, whether they're going through a little pocket in the sale, we talk about that sometimes, whether the sale's just cool for some reason, whether they're cool, whether the buyers are cool on a sire, who knows? But you absolutely have to be ready to put your hand up and buy that horse, and it's important to have the notes on those horses. So yeah, a lot of work to be done today by Amy and I, and a lot of clients, as I said, coming out, going to hang out with us today. That's my favorite thing. I love when our clients are hanging out with us, and especially at a sale like this, such a big sprawling place. Now, it is my job to talk about yesterday, and obviously, whether it be the Maritimes, Woodmere Betcha went all the way over to Woodstock, which I can only imagine the shape Woodstock's in now. Not a lot of money for that racetrack, and they were actually going with 2 heats. I thought it was a joke when they said 114 and 226. I'm like, well, which is it? Well, it was both. Smitty, or our filly, did not get to race in the second heat, I don't believe, because she made a break in the first turn. Tight track. Jamie said that he thought maybe the guy was leaving a little bit hard with her when he should have been a little more in neutral, a little more in safe mode, and instead she made a break in the first turn and tipped over. The one thing I did, and I've talked about this with Betcha for a while, the thought of exporting her. It's not a it doesn't end up being the best move to take a maritime bred horse up to either Ontario or to the south to the States to race. Sometimes it does. The higher end ones, yes. The middle of the road or lower end ones, they tend to get chewed up, right? The racing is vastly different, and the speed is quite a bit different also. So it's not always the best thing to do. So we were always trying to figure out, what are we going to do with Betcha? What are we going to do with her? Are we going to keep her? Are we going to sell her? The options as is that I thought were race her in the Breeders' Crown down there and sell her after. Sell her before and try and have somebody from down there that would buy her, pay good money for her, or bring her south. Those were kind of our 3 options. And I always lean towards the latter, or lean towards the middle. Sell her before the Breeders' Crown. After talking to Jamie yesterday, he said, Anthony, honestly, I think she's more than fast enough to race up there. She needs to get to a bigger track, and she needs to get to somewhere where somebody that can drive her full time, that knows her. He said, I was worried. I drove 4.5 hours to Woodstock, New Brunswick yesterday. I was worried when I got there. I was worried in the post parade, and exactly what I was worried about happened. So Woodmere Betcha made a break and didn't make the final yesterday. I think they went for 8,000 or something anyway. She has the Breeders' Crown left, and then that'll be it for her in the Maritimes. And as I said, after talking to Smitty, I guess I'm leaning to the latter. Maybe we will export her and bring her back up to where it all started, either in Ontario or over south with me, or with Tim, or with Jason, or with somebody in the Meadows or Northfield. We'll see how that plays out as the fall goes on. Woodmere Bullet, Smitty said, honestly, a little snot in his nose last night. He was a little flat. I think we just shut him down. I said, I certainly have no problem with just shutting him down. Jamie, I'm not going to find any objections from me if that's what, well, that's what you're, if you think that that's what we should do, then that's exactly what we're going to do. So Woodmere Bullet is done for the season. But again, there's 2 long shots. Blue Rare goes behind the gate. She's what, 12-1 or something? The only thing I wanted was for Chris Christopher to race the filly, and he certainly did that. He let her rock. I know he was up the quarter in 27-1, which is fast, but that was on her own steam. I don't know if we get up there in 28-3, it would have changed the outcome of the race. It looks like she raced as good as she could. She trotted, what, 57 and a piece, 58, faltered a little bit on the end of it, and ended up a disappointing 6th. But as I said to James goes, I often wonder if we had just put aluminums on her up front, how she'd be. I said, well, James, she's beat 10 lengths, so, you know, are the aluminums going to improve her 10 lengths? Because that's what she needed. He goes, that's a fair point. So, just a decent, nice filly, which falls in line with a lot of what we're doing. You guys, we posted a video, Amy and I, we spoke for almost an hour. Amy did most of the talking, but we had a video that was like an hour long, and it was just us talking about the babies, not the yearlings, the 2-year-olds, end of season grades, trying to just fairly put it together and look at what the horses are, what they weren't, what they aren't, what we'd like them to be, and what that is. So, and a video, I know Amy was a little hesitant to make the video. I just thought that it was an important thing for our clients to have. I don't think anything on the video will be surprising to you, right? I think that everybody knows where the horse is. What is back there making all the noise? Oh, those chairs. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised with it, but I do think it's important. I think it's, you know, for if nothing else, for everybody to understand where we're coming from, because I certainly understand where you're coming from. All the horses were not Jailbird Jog and Perfect Thought. I'm well aware of that. Some of them had let us down. I thought Blue Rare would be one of the best fillies in Ontario. Instead, she was a participant in the grassroots. That doesn't mean that she can't come back and be a better 3-year-old. I think she has a lot going on as a 2-year-old that she can improve on, that maturity will help her improve on, and that we can improve on in 2026. So that video is coming to you guys today. All the videos are done except that video. Oddly enough, the one that was an hour long didn't load last night, so I had to reload it. It is 56 minutes long, so it's taking a little while to load. I'm assuming as soon as that loads, Kelly will have your videos out to you early this morning. Now, and she was double digits. Foxy Seaside draws the 7-hole on a half-mile track, longest shot. I'll tell you what, I thought she actually raced good. And Tyler said, Anthony, I know I could have wheeled her out down the backstretch, but she felt good, she looked good, she finished up good. She draws inside, she'll beat them next week, which I think is a pretty fair assessment, top to bottom, of what he said was probably completely correct. She looked good to me. Certainly looks like she belongs in there, but when you draw 7 and some of the hot speed is on the inside of you and closer to the rail, it makes it really, really hard to do work in those classes. And I think Tyler did the right thing, and I think he's 100% correct. Actually, the only horse that hit the board last night for us was Trosa. His first start back, he was 3rd, just beat a length in 51, I think. He raced very good again. Just been such a good horse. The only problem with Trosa is he's a bit of a bleeder, right? That's why he came here from Australia. And even on Lasix, he's still a little bit of a bleeder. That's why we skipped the summer with him. Just the heat and the allergies. It was going to play a real bad role for him. So I just decided maybe it made all the sense in the world to focus on the fall. Give him some time off, bring him back, focus on the fall and winter. And that's why Trosa's racing now and hit the summer off. And he looked good in his first start back. And then to kick off, or to close out the night, I should say, was what a night of racing. If you watched, I went back as I was watching, I was kind of getting a little sleepy, and I was watching all the replays of the Dayton Derbies. Man, there's like 5 or 6 track records last night. And I'd said to Amy, which is so weird, because in every single race you can see, like, there's one horse that goes a big mile, another horse beside them or whatever, and they set the track record. There's 2 or 3 back a little bit that race good, and then if you look back, in every race there was like 2 or 3 that were like walking going onto the wire. And I know that feeling. I had that happen to me the night before. So, as I said, some horses really got a hold of the track and some just didn't. It's just the start of the season, the start of the meet. Tyler Smith was the one that said it to me when I went on the track, and it was the smartest thing. He goes, honestly, I don't understand why we're having the end of season stakes in a track that can never have the track, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's virtually a younger track, but to have the end of season stakes on a track that is not really ready to go, he said it doesn't seem to make much sense.
Did they think maybe people would go all the way to Sept?
Well, Sept is closer for everybody.
Not from here though. How many horses came from here?
Oh, not that many. To the Dayton Derby? No, it was just the fact that they wanted to showcase the opening of Dayton. I don't blame them. But maybe what they should do is maybe start qualifying 2 weeks before, or start working the track, rolling the track. I'm not sure what they do, and I'm not a track guy. But all I can say is that it was difficult for some horses. And that's just the way it is, I guess. Time is on my side. You just can't, he's not the get him underway early type, right? And I know I had said that to Ronnie the first time he drove him. But, listen, every driver drives a little bit different, and Ronnie Wren's an incredibly gifted driver, and I'm not going to tell him, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. I did tell him that time is on my side. He doesn't like to be first over. He doesn't like to be in the flow. He kind of hangs a bit in the last turn on a 5/8, even sometimes on a big track. The reason he was good for Dexter in the Meadowlands was he was kind of bottled fourth over and then right on a helmet as the front end was collapsing. Well, that's a good trip for him. But when you got to chase the whole way, and they're going hot fractions, 26, 50, like 52, I think, 53, 120 flat was the 3/4. And when you're out in the flow trying to make up ground with that horse, he sulks a little bit when he's constantly chasing. If you get a break in the mile where he's bottled up on a helmet, he's way, way, way better. That's why he's better if you stay left. Leave, sit in the hole, sit in the 2-hole, 3-hole, or even race him on the front. He's fine. But when you're out and on the move in the turns, he doesn't respond the same. Now, as I say that, he paced 49 a piece. But again, if we just look at how the day went, a break from Betcha. I don't know Woodmere Bullet's odds. I assume they were a little bit longer. Plus, he had mucus, and Smitty just thought that he was a little bit sick. Do you want to go to Preferred first, or do you want to go to Hunterton? I have more horses at Hunterton, but I do have a lot of Preferred. Why don't we just do this whole row first, and then we'll...
I have a comment, but I don't want to say it.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the horses yesterday, Betcha makes a break, Woodmere Bullet, a little bit of snot in his nose, plus a little bit sick probably. And then we have... see, my brain couldn't remember. Told you it couldn't. Blue Rare, double digits. Foxy Seaside, double digits. Trosa was 3 or 4 to 1, I think, and finished third and raced very, very well. And Time is on my side was 24 to 1. So anytime you put long shots on the track, you're likely to have poorer results. There's nothing we can do about that when it comes to the Dayton Derby constellation. There's nothing we can do with that when it comes to there's Chris Ryder. There's nothing we can do with that when it comes to when it comes to Blue Rare. They're finals. There's nothing you can do. I know. I can park right here, though, right? How close can I be to the fire hydrant? Because nope, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna park right here. Bam, parked. So the name of the game is pretty simple. Don't race long shots unless you have to. This sun is killing me. I'm terrible on this video. So maybe I will park over there where you asked me to. So we're here now. We're at Fasig-Tipton. We're going to begin our day. It's going to be a long day for Amy and I. If you want to come out at any point, we're going to be here all day long, top to bottom, looking at babies and deciding what we are going to do, or at least trying to decide what we are going to do the rest of the week. Preferred? Okay. So with you, if you have any questions, any notes, if you say, hey, did you look at this horse? There's a good chance I did. I'm happy to answer any questions the rest of the day. Our only starter tonight works out just fine for me. Winter Soldier, he won't be a long shot tonight. He'll be low odds tonight and in a very, very good spot to do good. So good luck to all my partners with Winter Soldier. Good luck the rest of the week. We'll have a ton of horses in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What am I going to do? If we get all the horses we need, I probably won't stay for Friday. I'll likely go home and race the horses at the Meadows in Northfield. If we haven't quite got everything we want, or a horse or two that I want to look at is in on Friday, then I may just stay right here. on Friday. So we'll see how that plays out also for the rest of the week. I know you're going home, but you can go with your parents and I can meet you home. I think there's a lot of people over this way. Anyway, you guys have a great Sunday. If you have any questions or any comments throughout the day, send them to me, text them to me, email me. I'll have my phone with me all day long. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful Sunday. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. We'll talk to you all very soon.